All
Hey,
right. So, Marcin, we're waiting for Dr. Dave and Arzin. Dinesh's grandson was born premature. They're in the hospital today, and he's juggling his other responsibilities, unfortunately. So I apologize, but Dinesh will not be able to attend. We'll go ahead and provide all the notes to him as soon as we complete the call. But thank you very much for doing this, Martin, and
yeah,
pronouncing your name correctly. Is that
Marcin, like marching to the rhythm.
March into the river?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
Hey, do you mind if I record this? Like, is this can this be
Sure. Yeah,
public or?
absolutely. Yes, please do. And if you want to share that afterward, that'd be helpful for us as
Absolutely. Let's get started. I mean, if you talk, sorry, but Kent, who are you?
well.
Hi, I'm Kent Richardson. I'm Dr. Dave's son, and I'm a architectural student.
Okay.
So,
What? Where? What school?
hmm? I'm actually in Japan
Ah.
in a school named Kyoto Art.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let me get start. I mean, I as we wait for anyone else to join, I can start going. So okay, if you talk about building 10 homes, what is the missing part? And the missing part is
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry, I'm gonna assist my dad to come in the meeting, so I'm
Okay.
gonna mute for a second.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Um, Jack, can we cover a couple of things?
Absolutely. Let me just. Sorry, we're just having a little technical problems here on the Connecticut side. I think
Okay.
they're coming on. If Kent, if you can let them know, I resent the link. I resent the link. I'm email just now.
Okay, yes, I'll do that.
All you have to do is just click on the link, and it should launch.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right. I can. Um, uh, what's Ken? Do you know what's happening on that side?
He's. I think he opened the link. He says it's showing him on video. Dad, can you
I just asked to join.
Okay, yeah, you're all set.
Okay. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And your video is not showing yet, David, but you can put that together and click down below, and you'll see the video camera, and that'll put you on the video so everybody can see you. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So, Marcin, this is this is
Okay.
You can see both
David.
of us.
and then
Why don't you
Arson.
come this way?
Arson is a gentleman who looks like Bradley Cooper.
Okay.
Arson, can you sit over here? Because okay, sure. There's a leg on the table. It's okay.
So, guys, before you came on, Marcin began to explain there's a missing link, and the missing link in building these homes is what exactly?
Skilled people. So we started an apprenticeship. Did you? Okay. First of all, did you guys see my TED talk?
Yes.
You have, David and Arzen.
Yes.
Have you
Didn't
guys
have
seen?
time because crypto crashed on Friday, so that's all I've been doing.
Okay.
But
And
I love TED Talks, and I actually sent your information to one of an acquaintance that has like a $60 million foundation that works with Habitat for Humanity.
oh,
So at
nice.
least I got that far because I thought that he could do it in a more affordable way to help people.
Yeah. For one thing, we've been trying to get in touch with Habitat. They don't have much interest so far as we've seen,
So
but we'd
so
love to do that.
if Bill Griffin calls you, his foundation is Peach Pit.
Peach Pit Foundation. Okay.
Mhm.
And the gentleman's name is
Bill Griffin.
Yep.
awesome.
The,
Yeah.
the floor is yours, Marcin.
Yep. Go ahead. Oh, you said go. I should go ahead.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Missing link is people. So we're starting the Future Builders Academy, and you can see the video at learn.opensourceecology.org. So the big deal is training 24 people to build a house in 5 days. Now that's not a walk in the park. It requires an integrated skill set, where in our model we have 24 people who are skilled in the 20 trades. So, but not only that, we teach them design, build, engineering. So it's a 4-year program. Now, I can build a house according to those. So 60K materials, 40K labor, 1,000 hours, $40 an hour. That's we counted the hours. It's about 1,000 hours for the 1375 square foot home. Now the trick is to distribute this skill set, integrated skill set, to many others, and that's hence the school. So if you talk about building, there's some barriers there. Like perhaps we can hire 24 professional carpenters. Another way to go about that is a factory-built modular home model. That's a legal thing. You got to get your site approved. Therefore, all the not all, but most of the inspections happen at the factory site, right? So those are ways to go about it. The model, yeah, it's all about an integrated enterprise with integrated humans running it, being part of it. And we're saying, well, it's going to take us 4 years to train the people to execute on that model. And that model is 50 homes a year, 5 million net, based on about 100K per. So 50 homes, we haven't done that. We're just got 2 people so far. We're recruiting.
Good. Yeah, that's great. It's a 50 million over the 4 years, though, right? And then 50 billion is the second major phase.
So, by 2028, yeah. So just to explain the ramp up plans here, develop the model ideally within 1 year to get to the 5 million net with the 24 people, 50 homes a year. If we can do that, I think we can 10x that readily. It's a robust model. So then we're within 2 years potentially at 50 M's.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Global Village construction set is the 50 most important machines that it takes for modern life to exist. The house is one of them. There's all kinds of stuff like the tractor, 3D printer, sawmill, all kinds of things, car, energy production equipment. So that big project, that's a $50 million package in terms of, okay, it's about $1 million a pop to develop anything. We probably put in maybe like 2 million into the R&D of the house and development over the years, and that's skunk works. That's not like we're doing all the work ourselves, the heroic effort, all that kind of stuff, startup mode, in which we still are, of course. So 1 million a pop would be a model where either you can, okay, that's the development cost, so that you can take any of these technologies, such as, let's take a skid steer, okay, 50K off the shelf. We can build one for 15K, 15K in materials, but there's a difference. So the difference on our side is, okay, that skid steer you have to throw out pretty much after 5,000 hours if you're in production. If you're a contractor or whatever, they start to break. It's not effective anymore. For us, we design in like probably half the cost, 10x the life. That's our motto pretty much. So that changes the economics, say for a skid steer, from treadmill ROI to 10 or higher, which is decent. So like 30.
Fix it yourself. That's why.
What am I getting at here?
You have to throw it away.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Marcin, that's fantastic stuff. What are some other key takeaways you want us to know? Because we did want to go through a number of questions to really clarify, the mission around the building of the homes.
Yeah, key takeaways is that we've got a model that works, and as far as our we can start with that because it works, and we're trying to develop it. Now the other part around it is that the bigger development of the Global Village construction set 50 million package, but we're saying, okay, by 2036 we're talking an entire economy is open source. That means all corporations now are collaborating, not competing. That's a $50 billion package, so that means spaceships and microchips included through collaborative development. And that's a calculated number. It's not something I pulled out of my ass, but 50 billion nominally to open source the economy. Okay, but those are bigger things. Let's talk about a house.
I have information that's 30 years old. So tell me if I remember it properly. It's actually 40 years old. My grandfather was an electrician and then a state inspector in Pennsylvania. And then my parents bought Blue Knob Ski Resort. And he explained to me that all of this beautiful ski resort was prefab and that it was 4 times stronger because of that, because it has to travel on a road. Is that still the case?
Could be. I can't tell without any specific details. I mean, prefab,
Oh,
as in you can do prefab that is weak. You can do it. It depends what you're building and how you're building it. Method doesn't matter as much as really how you do it. Now, prefab has the advantage of a controlled build environment, so you control things, not like out in the weather, for example. So you can do better. But you can also do like throwaway trailer homes too, right? And prefab.
Mhm.
Depends. I would have to ask you what more details, but yeah, sure, that could be the case.
Yeah. Well, Marcin, can we go through just a few prep questions
Yeah,
that we have, created before the
sure,
meeting? And
sure. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
okay, so one of the biggest questions we're really looking for, of course, is the breakdown of the actual costs, right? So something around 50,000 in the costs. Where do those lie? If you,
Okay,
we're
so
not paying,
yeah,
but in
so
the labor.
so cost in this model. So the 1,375 square foot house that we're selling on Zillow right now, that's 60K in materials, 40K in labor, but 40K. Okay, 100K build cost on that 1,375. 3 bed, 2 bath, includes PV, super efficient energy features, and all that. Solid construction. The industry standard is the same, 60K in materials. Build cost is 180K. So that's the big deal.
Okay.
Okay. This means 60K. You've got subcontractors and a contractor. At the end of the day, 180K. So 3x the materials cost.
Right.
We're able to do 60K plus 40 on top of that. And how do you do that? There's some magic there. That magic is the integrated skill sets, just people who can do that rapidly. Also, the modular construction method, where all the wall, for example, there's like going to be like 50 wall modules that we build each as 4x9 modules, 4x9 foot modules. So all those people, say you got 24 people, they'll crank them out in an hour a pop. So in 2 hours, you've got all the walls. So you can parallel it like that. That's the difference. So one is the parallel buildability. Second is the optimized design. And third is the fact that these people are multi-skilled, getting much higher skill sets.
Got it.
Now,
Okay.
let's see. So that's the standard model we're at right now.
Okay. Can you help us with just breaking down the 60 grand?
in Depot
How much
did.
is that?
And it
How
seems
much
like
of that is
they just built in Texas.
plumbing?
They just built one here.
Sorry, I didn't hear. So break it down to further to what?
Could you just kind of break it down to, of the 60,000, how much is appliances? How much is the photovoltaics? How much is the plumbing?
Structure is like 20. Foundation is like 5. PV is gonna be like 3. Plumbing, electrical, dirt cheap, like 1,000 a pop. Heat pump. I mean, uh, I don't have it off the top of my head, but if you talk about 20K, say for structure, 20K for interior, 20K for utilities and stuff, roughly. I mean, very roughly. Yeah.
Now, uh, question I have on when you say about 5 foot of foundation, what kind of foundation are we looking for
You want
5,000?
you want to look at stuff that you can't build because it's illegal, but okay, on the standard for sale model, just concrete slab on grade. We're going into a stabilized subgrade, modified shallow insulated footer, concreteless. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think a railroad bed would work for a foundation for a house?
Yes.
That's what we're doing. That's called the shallow insulated footer, modified stabilized subgrade model. That's not going to go through codes. We need that engineered, but once we have a reference design from an engineer, then we can do the next builds at zero marginal cost for the engineering. Right? So
Okay.
we innovate like that. Right now, we'll have to build a slab wherever they do that. If we get the engine. So one of the next steps is we're getting the PV system engineered. Like for example, in St. Joseph, Missouri, where I need to build, they need engineering on a PV system. Okay, reference design. That's the build. Right now, it might cost us. Next build, it's near zero because we were using the same design.
Great. Right. And so the biggest single cost of the 60 grand then would be which item then?
Of the 60 grand,
Yeah.
single. There's $4,000 in trim, 5,000 in windows. Lumber and materials is 20K. It's about that. Interior is about like cabinets and finishing. That's like it's just a large number of items. But if you do a line item, I would say it's structure, lumber, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So we have two Achilles heels in Connecticut. Jack would be in Texas, but would be in Connecticut. And I
Yep.
want Arzen to explain, like they would make him do a foundation, and also for the geothermal, what it would cost on his side. I just want him to give you those numbers. Can you do that?
Go ahead,
Well,
Arson.
For a
Oh,
1,300 square foot house, what would it cost for you to put in a
okay.
slab, and what would it cost for you to drill down for geothermal?
Well, that's the thing. Then we have to find out, see if they will approve to be on a slab and grade, and if it's going to be on a fresh stone, if they allow, then it's fine. If you're going into footing, by the time you put the footing, put the walls, put the slab in, it does cost quite a bit, and it's a lot of work. But the way going on a grade where anywhere, like I said, if they approve it, or if the state is okay or the city is okay with that, then slab on grade works. I mean, Texas or Florida, it's warmer, no freezing problems, so that's why that it's a good chunk of money. If it's Connecticut or like New York and north versus south.
Well,
That's the
unless
part.
so you could do whatever you like. You just have to get it engineered. Is that correct?
Correct. I just don't know if you are on a ledge or any hard surface,
Yeah.
they can let you do that. But if you are on regular, ground, I have not asked that question, and I will find out if
What's
that's doable.
what's a 1,000 square foot slab cost where you are?
The slab itself,
Yeah.
it goes about $16 to $18 a square foot.
So 18,000. Okay. So this is the you can say this is the essence of what we do. We do it ourselves. We don't hire out. We're an integrated builder. We do that for the cost of the concrete, 2K in gravel, 4, maybe one more K, 5K or so, all included, including machines. So for us, it's maybe 1/3. But that's exactly it. I just said our build cost is 100. Other guys are at 180. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about. For example, water service entrance. We use PEX. We use all shark bite. We can build a water service entrance with all the correct components in an hour. A plumber would, in a standard construction, that's an all-day job. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about. And just you can think of it as how a house. So digital housing. So a house that's actually designed. It's not that you just do the plans and here's the concept from an architect. We actually draw out where does each wire go, where does the plumbing go, and that's all in CAD.
Wow, that's fantastic. So Marcin, let me see if I can go through some of these questions. So in essence, one of the questions we have is what specific skills will we be able to demonstrate after the 2 weeks? In other words, what we're going to be learning is all the foundation work, all the framing, electrical, plumbing, design, project management, 20 trades. We're going from, me, a novice, and through that process, we're learning not just these trades, but the unique way that you and your teams implement those to make it fast. Would that be an accurate answer?
Yeah, I mean, as far as 14 days allows, right?
Right. Okay.
So 1 hour is, so I'm going to do a theoretical presentation for an hour. There's going to be probably like a half hour or an hour, like just talking about the build. But the rest is you're out there like we're saying like 6 hours of build per day. So you're doing it hands-on. You're practicing things and you're building things now. And then 2 hours, like 1 hour is theoretical, like the big picture stuff, like here's the thermal battery and stuff like that, or here's how we solve housing. And then another hour on actual design. I mean, I can show you some of the stuff that. So let's just pull this up here.
Okay.
I mean, in the announcement itself, I put a link to the. Let me share my screen here. I mean, it's. All right, water system. You're gonna like build out this kind of stuff. We're not. We may. I mean, we're not. We're not gonna get to this like finish. We might build some cabinets. Okay, framing absolutely. So you're talking about framing, water service entrance. Like we'll build that out. That's what I was talking about. Maybe stuff like this. Maybe stuff like this. We'll do this on a roof with a gravel low slope. Fiber reinforced polyethylene and then gravel built up roof like that. There's all kinds of plumbing. What's this? Sorry. All kinds of plumbing. I mean, we'll implement plumbing, like electrical, we'll lay it out. I mean, this is kind of like what it looks like for inside the walls. You have everything integrated, so you got plumbing, electrical, and we can actually build. So these, say if these are like 4x9 modules, 4 feet, like with 16-inch on center, we throw all that in during the build phase. So that's how we do it. We've got visual diagrams of all the builds. So for example, here are various plumbing assemblies, and you can click on them, and then you actually get the parts. So we document stuff. Before the workshop, we'll do a lot of documentation. We're actually
to send a man to get. Yep. That's good.
Where we can do the CAD. So CAD, you'll have access. Okay, for example, like this. So you have access to the CAD. We'll actually teach you how to generate these drawings like out of FreeCAD, because we've got all the files. So you can now take these and make these, or at the very least take the CAD model and manipulate it in 3D, right? So that's what else? I mean, so like we do these various cheat sheets like this. So like the electrical system might look like this in a diagram, but then we build it out. What else? I mean,
that's fantastic. No, this gives us a really good flavor of the different component parts, and certainly 20 trades and the complications of this are very evident to us. So I guess just to move to the next question without too much delay. After the 2 weeks, how do you go about, in a sense, measuring how proficient the students are? I mean, I'm guessing all of your students are coming out very, very proficient, but I know there's a certificate that comes with this completion successfully of the training. Can you kind of talk about what your expectations is of your students, us?
I mean, we don't really have established expectations. It's literally what does it depends completely on one's capacity and how fast one learns and all that, and how much time you spend to prepare and how much skills you had. You're going to get exposed to all this, but what you do with it is completely up to you. There's no magic. Like this stuff, in 2 weeks you can get exposed to everything, unlike any, more than any other place in the world. But if you want to learn how to do this, run a business, that's why we started the Future Builders Academy. Yeah. There's a whole philosophy behind it, how we design. Like all those design choices, which one of the big challenges is if you get regular tradespeople, they're going to be like, I'm not building this. This is BS. Like, that's not how it's built. That's a common response we get. So labor, like getting people to work, finding people is hard. So the biggest challenge right now, so after we posted the Future Builders Academy, how many people are signed up? We've got 2 people in the program right now. I thought this thing would be flooded and filled with at least 24, and we'd be actually proving out the model. It's not. It's like, I don't know. Now we got the viral video. A lot of people are applying, but still, like, deal flow high, like actual signups for the Future Builders Academy. I mean, we still haven't and that's only been like a week since the viral video, but there's not. I do have a few conversations lined up for the academy, but so far like no clear winner at this point. So it's just amazing, and that's because we're not established. I mean, right? We don't have a campus. I mean, this is primitive here. So,
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a lot of patients from Norwich Tech.
Yep.
Do you do scholarships for young kids that have no money that can afford to do
So
this
here's
on
the
their
deal. The deal about that is there's tuition, but you have 2 days of work study. Work study pays for the tuition. So if you have no money, you need to come up with a tuition, but you leave completely debt free. The economics are such that you can work either 2 or 3 days. Once you start learning the skills, it pays back for itself and you're saving. We provide housing.
Okay.
So, I mean, that should not be the barrier, and it's not. Now, the tuition for the designer track is like $15K. Tuition for the enterprise track is $20K. At $15K, yeah, you can make that back easily. For the enterprise track, our promise is to hire you as a construction manager, $95K starting. So.
Okay. But what we're learning is that what you have a number of graduates. Those graduates have gone on to.
No, we don't have a number of graduates. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We started March. We announced the program. We are not filling the bodies yet. So we know the. So let's be clear about where we stand on the model. We have documented in detail the full build ergonomics, design, and techniques, and all of that. It's fully open source. We're trying to teach that because I can do that. I can build a couple of houses, make say $200,000 myself per year. But that's not an enterprise. That's a solo warrior. So if you talk about scalability, you got to train your people. But that's the part we do not have. We did not put 24 people through this program. We're not making $5 million today.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Right.
So we're coming as kind of the first major cohort, which is very, very positive because we can get through this and make an impact. And
okay, so let's discuss. I mean, cohort, yes. So you're on the enterprise side, where if you want to run this, so the fully trained people, the 5 million, 24 people, 20 trades each, plus a lot of other knowledge. So design, build, engineering, we teach that, all of that. That's 4 years. Now you're getting exposed to the concept, enterprise, and skills. So now you're going to be exactly where we are in terms of the ability to actually start it up. But now you got to talk about, okay, what is my training model, right? Or you can try hiring regular people, but the costs are just going to go up. Part of it is that how it's really about logistics. Like if you have 20 skilled trade builders, you do not have downtime. It's not a linear process. It's a parallel process at that time. That's the value of that. Your business model is robust because now those, say you hire those people, hiring in a standard model is going to be very difficult because you've got the capacity factor, the utilization factor issue. Like, what are all your electricians going to do when you're not doing electrical, right? You can be building 10 or 100 houses at a time. Our model is designed so you can scale with producing one house and then bootstrap up further. But do you see the point I'm making here, or am I talking to myself?
Absolutely.
No, you're good. Basically, what you do is after you train your workers or the people that are working with you, then let's say you get everybody to learn the trade from the trench digging to the power going into the building up to the roofing and finishing and everything. So everybody in your crew, they all need to know the whole complete job. Not one guy's finishing, one guy compounding, the other one painter. Everybody has to know the whole assembling a house, basically.
Right.
Exactly.
And the reason for that is that everyone has to know in parallel what the other teams are doing so that they're synergistically not getting in each other's way and they're effective every minute of the day. So question for you then. Earlier you said something to the effect of, a person who's been around the trade for a while said, "Hey, I'm not going to do it that way." Um, is we're very curious about regulation and what we can and cannot do. The regulations, obviously, statewide to statewide, is wildly different. I don't even need a contractor's license in the state of Texas. All I need to do is hire subcontractors who have the license in plumbing or licensed electrical. So, the house that you have now on Zillow obviously was built with regulatory compliance, right? The foundation was built and correctly done, all that, right? And you had inspectors come through on each of the different stages, electrical and plumbing, right?
Maysville has no building department, so I had 0 inspectors.
Okay, so that answers a lot of questions right there. So in areas in the country where there's an inspector on every street corner, and they're trying everything they can to do whatever they can to tell you that you're doing it wrong, that's where we don't go.
No, this house could have been built in the area you described. We built it fully code compliant. We just didn't have inspections.
Okay, and so what are the relative to that? Is there questions there about liability for the person who buys the home? What exactly happens there in terms of liability in county and city and how they look at the house?
I don't know. I mean, liability in terms of what? Like, what do you mean?
Well,
You're talking about homeowners insurance? Like, what?
no, what
Tell me
Jack
more.
is saying is, let's say you do the electrical, and then maybe after 6 months the house catches in fire.
Yeah.
Then what happens? So that's what he's saying. Like, who is in charge for that?
Well, I mean, we're responsible for that. We built it, so they're gonna come after us, right? I can vouch for my work, right? I mean, what other mechanism exists? Okay, so say I'm a regular builder. What mechanism do I have in place that is a difference, or like a difference in detail there? Can you explain that? Like, what's different?
No, the thing is, let's say for a house, let's say if something goes wrong with electrical, or they didn't ground it correctly, or for lighting, or somebody get electrocuted, however it goes.
Yeah.
Then it goes after the license of the electrician, which that's the hardest part. Let's say let's talk about here in Connecticut, or like other states. If you do your own electrical at the house, like you as a homeowner, you can do that. But you cannot sell the house within 2 years. That means you have to live on the house, or you can't put anybody to live in there.
Yeah. So
That's a rule for here. I'm saying. So basically, going back to the other side, let's say if it's to you, Jack, if it's anywhere where they don't require for inspection, or things will be easier, then that's where you can grow the business. Otherwise, if you're going into like I mentioned yesterday, if you go into New York, it's even worse than Connecticut or where we are. If you go to Texas or somewhere else, it might be much easier, much.
But there is no difference in if the house is code compliant. We build it to code compliance in New York City. We go through the same process, except we got inspections.
Okay. So is it fair to say?
Sorry, Arzan, you're shaking your head. What am I missing?
Well, the thing is, you can't really do the electrical until the licensed electrician got to go out and pull out the permit.
Okay. So maybe I didn't answer that correctly. When I pull the permit, I have to have an electrician and plumber typically on it, and maybe other things like for the PV I had to have an engineering stamp. Yeah, those people are on a board.
Oh, okay. That answered the question then. You have your own electrician and plumber to be on a team, however they do. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean we have to go through. Those are just the requirements. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so there's no uniqueness then, and this is a unique way of doing electrical, and
No, it's all code compliant. I mean, we just
okay.
like the difference there in particular is we use a utility channel at the bottom of the walls to run all the wires instead of sending them through studs. It's much simpler, cheaper, faster, and better because you can modify it later. So that's what we do. We have incremental housing method, meaning that you can expand the house readily after you build it too. It's not like all concealed. It's transparent. But we had one. So I say that one electrician here that came here was a volunteer, and he said, "I'm not doing it that way," and he left. I mean, that's
And-
the kind of BS
Well,
you get into.
Yeah.
People want to do things their way.
Right. So there's a lot of people in the industry that don't think out of the box, and that's fine. And it's good that they didn't stick around and ruin things. But so I guess the big questions. I mean, Arzen, did you want to add or discuss further on that?
no, I'm okay. I think.
Okay. Relative to the business readiness, right? So as I mentioned, Marcin, we our whole objective is to come as well prepped as we possibly can. Some of us are going to have to study a lot more than others to get ready for the training. But in the background, I have here about a month and a half where I can begin reaching out to would-be investors with the overall mission, plan, costs, and then upon temporary sign off, those people would line up and say, okay, we'll go ahead and do a loan for pick a number, $500,000. We'll get you guys going, and we'll. Your objective will be to build 5 homes in a suburb an hour north of Dallas. I live just north of Dallas in a town called Plano. So that would be the objective we have to fill in what we need to do to get there is the entire objective, right? So begin with the end in mind, as Stephen said, right? And I believe that because this is a collateralized asset, it's easier to fund than a software company that I've a lot of experience in, and David does too. But and Dinesh certainly. We feel this is extremely fundable, and maybe you can talk to the points of other people who are entrepreneurs or business builders or builders who've come along and seen this.
Mm-hmm.
How have they progressed, and are they doing? What are they doing, and what are the gaps to make every builder go, wow, this is the way of the future.
So let me just clarify: the build cost does not include land, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you've got that. Yeah. As long as you keep in mind that just the build cost, not land, legal, whatever permits, whatever, 100K versus 180K. Okay. Now, what's missing to the standard build process is linear. One person comes in after another. They all cuss at each other because the electrician got in the way of the plumber. The architect hasn't designed it. The engineer's not the designer. The builder is not the architect. It's just a disintegrated process. To get this to scale, I think one way, definitely the factory built modular home model, like after we prove it, that's a much easier labor model, because then and all the legal stuff model. I think that's one way. As far as the other, I mean, you've got tradespeople, subcontractors and contractors. The subcontractor takes 2x the cost of materials. The contractor is going to add another fraction, so that, I mean, it's a process where there's a lot of people involved, and there's a lot of, there's 20% is the actual build, 20% land, 20%, let me show you a slide here about build. I'll present this during the workshop, but you kind of get you guys understand the break, Arzen. I mean, the cost involved in building. Let me actually run this through you. So let me share my screen to see if you agree with that. But I mean, a standard. So I'll present this kind of stuff here. What's the build cost of a house? Am I sharing?
Yes.
This, right? So land, materials, labor, financing, profit. It's kind of like that, but I can tell you right now that materials, labor is not 20, it's at least double of materials. I mean, depends how you account this, but this is kind of like a general thing. Does that kind of look reasonable, or?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Is that?
Oh, it will work. I mean, like my biggest point, and I understand, and that's the part that Jack and Dave or anybody get to understand is when you get, let's say, if you're going to put 20 houses, and you got to put the side road, and you got to put the driveways or gravel or things like that. Those they will add up to the cost or any fees. Yes, if you say 20%, I think that's a very fair number, and yeah, they look good. I mean,
Yeah, so just real quick, and this is what it is. Cost increases over time. So what we're doing here is, if the market cost is 400, we can sell anywhere between 240 and 400 for our standard home. But we're into cost reduction here because of this, right?
yeah,
So we go to here. Like, our next step is do a sweat equity model, like Habitat. So imagine you get some sweat equity from the buyer, and we're producing homes like that at 120K. I mean, that's kind of the goal. So just keep reducing the cost further. Now, part of the cost reduction is this kind of stuff. Like, we press brick, we make lumber, we do solar concrete, solar, like talking about 100 kilowatts on our workshop, and we're doing solar concrete. What the hell is that? I mean, we're saying, okay, because the cost of PV is so super low. I was gonna just show that. Let's see. A solar steel, like or solar concrete. This is the kind of stuff we're getting into, and this is like no-brainer stuff. So if you have free electricity, which is essentially the case with current cost of PV being about 7 cents per watt. You guys, do you recognize it? I mean, do you know you could get a container of solar panels for 7 cents a watt? That's the reality. Well, then we talk about on our existing building, we're going to put 100 kilowatts of solar and burn limestone in a kiln to make concrete. Cool. Well, that gets you 100 kilograms per hour, like 600 kilograms per day. You can make cement block at $1,000 a day. Like, this is solar. This is game-changing stuff. So we talk about solar for everything. So the product Ecology involves PV fueling everything, because you can, just like steel. You can melt steel now in an induction furnace. So that's the kind of stuff we talk about. I mean, this is the real crazy stuff, like induction furnace, steel rolling, machining, and you got like $3,000 to $6,000 per day production value in 6 hours of solar time. I mean, this isn't, so that's the bigger picture of the Global Village construction set. We don't have to go there, but we're saying that we're doing that because then we're going to reduce the cost of materials from 60 to 20K. That's the near term. Within a couple of years, we want to be at like 20K, not 60K. So we're just changing the playing field. And this is, the theoretical concept here is, we're talking about open source economics. We're talking about zero marginal cost society, like Jeremy Rifkin in his book called Zero Marginal Cost Society promised that things should not be getting more expensive. Things should be going down in price. That's happened in software. It hasn't happened in hardware. In hardware, we're still in an old system and stuff like that. So,
do you own a crusher, or have you built a crusher yet?
Build a what?
A crusher, stone crusher.
A what?
Do you have a stone crusher, or have you built one? Yes.
We haven't built one, but you can get those for 5K for one that makes you 5 ton an hour. I mean, it's easy and it's available from China readily, that kind of stuff. So we can go between, here's cheap stuff from China, here's stuff we open source. Like, we've built things like these. We built tractors, we built brick presses to do stuff like this here, So we know how to build machines and stuff. So that's why we're saying this is all emerges as possibilities. And now that PV went literally to like free almost, that's what we do. So this is what we did for the last build. So that's one of the 3 sections. We moved the house that we built in the last workshop to a new site. And this is actually in progress still, so we'll get much better pictures. But that's what we do out of the builder crash course. We'll move it to a site. That's kind of what we do. But this is it. This is what we're doing. Like, we need people to do this.
This is terrific. Well, so Marcin, this is very helpful for us. Just a few more questions, if it's okay.
Yeah.
Our sense is that it's all open source, right? So we would go away with templates, cost sheets, project plans. In other words, we would access the entire open source.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, okay, and then from there, we can refer back to the classwork, the coursework. Is there a carry-on connection whereby, as we begin implementing, um, can we have online counsel with you or
So here's what we
another
do.
proctor so that we can streamline quickly rather than coming back to a tweet class or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'll gladly work with you if you're contributing. The thing, like for example, if there's people building, like say they sign up for the package where they build their own house after the builder crash course in 6 weeks. There's the package called the financial independence package. Pay us 10K and you build your own house. You pay for materials, right? So they use our facility, drive away with their own home. There, we're saying, okay, what if I don't finish my home? Yeah, well, of course we'll support you. The procedure there is just send me pictures, put them on your work log on a wiki, and then we can troubleshoot and keep it open so that everybody can benefit from that learning. So yeah, follow up, yeah. Now before, if you want to get those bills of materials under your hand, we've got this overall bill of materials that's, it's got everything in there, but it's not updated because, you can never like keep it updated. This changes too fast, right? So before the workshop, we're going to hold sessions just about every night where if you can work spreadsheets, rotate the CAD, use Google Slides, help us document all this stuff. Because it's like the documentation actually takes more time than the actual builds. And it's more worthwhile because if you have the documentation, you can build 1,000 houses, right? So, but we're gonna basically, like, as soon as you sign up, you can basically sign up. We're gonna be doing a session like every day or almost every day where we are documenting, yeah, because there's so much of it. So kind of getting you involved in the idea of here's collaborative development. We got wikis, we got CAD that you can manipulate. So just a simple thing as, you take the CAD, you hide and unhide things, you can create instructional. So like for the workshop, we'll have a bunch of cheat sheets and all that, but download the CAD beforehand and you can bring a computer so you can see it all in 3D and manipulate in 3D, because that's like your first step to understanding how to build it. So download that stuff, we'll show you how, and just play with it as much as you can before the workshop so you can see how everything goes together.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm clear on what you said there. We could pay you guys 10 grand after the workshop's
Yep.
over, and you could help assist us in building one home.
So, you do the work. We're providing an environment and a build guide. So
Okay.
bring 4 of you guys. You're staying 4 weeks. You build this complete home. 10K.
And then we throw it on a truck and we take it to wherever it's going to go.
Yeah, it's 3 pieces of 12 by 20 right now. You saw on the truck. That was one section. You can probably fit 2. I mean, they're 20 feet long, so a 40-foot trailer will take 2 of them. You'll need 2 trips.
Okay.
Two
And
trailers.
then all we would need then at the site would be the foundation prepped and
Yep.
ready.
Yep. Foundation
Okay.
and legal secured. I mean, but there's the issue again. Depending on where you put it, we're not a factory built modular home operation. So you're gonna, like, are they gonna allow it? Well, yeah, if you can. They're gonna inspect the foundation. Depends on the jurisdiction. They might say, like, forget about it, we don't allow that, or they'll say, oh yeah, just bring that. You can bring the shell, but the walls can't be finished because we still got to inspect the framing before you put the insulation or whatever. It's up to your building department. If it's in a place where you're free from that or it's much more lax, then yeah, you could do it. But that's what I'm saying, that a good collaboration would be to, let's get the factory built modular home operation going so we get rid of all those inspections. Now, the other way, like 5 days, you can't do that without in a regular inspection schedule. So what you do is get a third-party inspector to be there with you the whole time, so they inspect as you go. That's the way
Yeah.
you address the 5-day thing.
Yeah. We discussed that prior in this call today. Let's see. So in the big picture, you're going to be the key instructor at the class. Is there going to be other proctors as well?
Yes, I'm gonna be like pretty much everywhere. My wife, Katerina, she's she's a designer, builder, engineer here too, like me. Once again, we're doing everything here. So she's gonna ideally present. I'm trying to make. She's shy about it. She wants to be in the background, but hopefully I'll get her to do a few presentations as well. There might be like another person or two who actually have built the people who got this home. They might present 1 or 2 lessons.
Okay, great. Let's see. So what I'm also hearing is that the prefab, an operation where you have a large warehouse and
Yeah.
you're basically building all the subparts, all the component parts of the entire home, soup to nuts, and that can be done in parallel, or it can be done in sequence, but labor will be higher.
Yeah.
And then shipping those component parts, much like a prefab company does.
Yeah.
These companies are very well funded. I'm sure that you know this. Like this is the new. I mean, I can count at least three companies that have raised tens of millions of dollars on that model. Where they're taking those and deploying those on foundations, I don't know that, but I can learn that. But my sense is that we can look into that. And as a sub note, you may know this, but Texas is the number one state in the United States for um, development of production engineering. The state of Texas will literally allow you to spend up to $5 million and develop an operation of workers, and they will literally give you back that $5 million and let you keep your facility. So this is the best place in the country.
Hook me up and I'll do it. The point you want, I would drive it at, don't do your builder thing, do your builder education thing. So you started as an education facility that happens to produce homes. That's what I would, that's what we do. And I think that's the most powerful. If you talk about changing the world, you want to start with education. So yeah, you can do the production, but put it, and then you address your labor force. So start a school, replicate our school. The facility, that the difference between a factory built modular home standard operation, it's a multi-million-dollar operation, whatever. For us, it's much smaller. In 8,000 square feet, our model is like 8,000 square foot workshop for doing that.
Yeah, got it. Okay. And then do you send us away with preferred vendors? In other words, is there like a bill of materials, like look for all?
Yeah.
Not really.
Our preferred vendor is Menards here, and then there's Amazon and eBay. I mean, we buy stuff all off the shelf, and then yeah, it's all off the shelf, easy stuff. It's Home Depot. We have never. I think a lot of builders go to like these lumber supplies, but we actually found lumber supplies are more expensive. So we do like Menards. Menards got the best price. That's in the Midwest. I don't know if you have Menards where you are.
No, we don't here.
Okay, but I mean similar, and maybe you might have a little difference there. Yeah. But it shouldn't be major.
So guys, I kind of went through the list that we have prepared in advance. What are some other questions that you guys all have?
I'd like you to explain more so my son can understand
Yeah.
the geothermal battery, how that works with the water.
Okay, did you see the TikTok video? It's an explanation, 2 minutes. Look at that open source ecology.
No, I didn't.
Okay, for reference, I'll explain now. But if you go to open source ecology Instagram, there's a video on how to reduce your electricity costs. So the way it works, all it is you've got 16 IBC totes of water. Okay, so water. You've got a small utility room, which is a footprint of 8 by 16 feet.
8 by 16.
Okay, so that's affordable. That we can do that, and that doesn't raise our build cost. It's space. It's just space. And then you got a heat pump running from solar that heats or cools the water. You run that hot or cold water through a heat exchanger. You've got hot in the winter. You got cold in the summer. All from solar. Now, here's the rub. Here's the cool part. 16 totes in that space give you 5 days of storage. That's no joke. So now you're talking about potentially displacing 70. You can now, if this happens at scale, you can shut down 70% of the world's electricity producing plants, because electricity for heating, cooling, and hot water takes 70% of all electrical production. That's $1 trillion idea.
So this concept is about creating a house from scratch, right? But I'm kind of a little bit more interested in kind of renovating a shack kind of building that isn't perfect into a livable space.
Oh yeah, like accessory dwelling units, or
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially in Japan, they have like a ton of houses out there that are dirt cheap, but it's just not at the status where people could live in. So
Yep.
if you could fix it at a lower price than expected, then that will be something I'll be deeply interested in.
That's the trick to that is though that when you're retrofitting, that means you're working with somebody else's typically inefficient design.
Hmm.
My camera went off for some reason. So that's harder than it seems. If you build from scratch, you're in full control over the integrated design aspects. If you start with something that's really bad and difficult, like poorly designed, then it will cost you more. But it's all doable. I'm just saying that you don't get the advantage of starting from scratch, where you
Nice.
control everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, can I interrupt for a second? We only have 5 minutes left on the clock. I sent you guys a new Google link. Could we continue and just end this call and go back onto the Google link I just sent you, and we can restart the meeting?
Sorry, I do have a conflict at 11:15. I got another call to go on.
Okay. Okay.
But feel free to like call me anytime and follow up with maybe like you guys get together, think about like the real, how to make it work and talk to me again. I mean, just feel free to communicate.
Great.
Just
This last question, super quick. The geothermal part was a big question area that we really didn't get to. But is it true though that this home we're talking about, the 1,300 square foot home, there's no utilities coming to it. It's completely freestanding.
No, it's not. I mean, that's not true. It's
I'm sorry.
off grid on PV. Like we've got a hybrid electrical 6 kilowatts PVR stock with it, right? That's in the sale price of the home. That's actually in the 100K build cost. Beyond that, we're connecting to the grid. But we do have super efficient appliances like on-demand heaters, induction cooktop, heat pump, that if you're smart about how you're using electricity, then you can be pretty much all off grid, like maybe 80% off grid. Now with the thermal battery, you can then go to full off grid. You'd have to double your PV size from 6 kilowatts to 12 kilowatts to be able to afford that kind of storage. So we're aiming to implement that system, the thermal battery, as a standard feature on top of the PV, and still within the same cost, or maybe a little more.
This topic is extremely important for us because in the idea of just buying a raw piece of land, if you have to prep that land with electrical access, gas, all the trappings of the infrastructure that like to take a typical home, that drives the cost.
Okay.
As opposed to
Electrical and gas is addressed through electricity. So yes, we killed it. Okay. Now you need storage for the night, so you need a thermal battery. Now, what about water and sewer? Well, we're not there yet, but we will do a closed loop water system too. We've done enough experimentation to know how to do it that it's doable. So like a living machine or a system that processes its own waste, whether it's a shit fryer, so I mean incinerating toilet, or other means that actually you treat it biologically while incorporating grow lights and an aquaponic greenhouse. That's the next steps. We're not there yet. This is where I'm saying there's a few $1 million of R&D.
Quick question. Is your 2-week course only in December? Or do you plan to have
Next one is February. We run them every 2 months.
every 2 months? Okay.
So
next one is in
I
February 2026.
I did see 15 years ago in Canada, this man lived off the grid in Canada, middle of nowhere.
Yep.
And all of his, sewage waste turned into compost for his garden. So I know that is a doable thing.
But not easy legally. So we can
Oh.
engineer higher grade systems that do exactly that. It's just inevitable. Like the thing that we're sending resources down a drain to a sewage plant, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, so anyway, that's going to change with people like us doing that and actually making it affordable. Because right now the trick is you can do that any day. Yeah, but you want to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for that systems? No, so that's where we come in and keep it within cost.
Okay, guys, we have less than a minute. Thank you very much for all this. This is very helpful for us.
Thank you.
The last thing just to throw at you guys is I wanted to try to do this in my house, but my house is too old.
Yep.
This man also 15 years ago had a giant human hamster wheel to recharge the battery so
Yep.
that he could jog when it's snowy outside.
Sure. Great.
I would love that.
Okay, we'll make it a standard feature in all our homes. Thanks for
Yes.
the idea. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys.
Guys,
All right.
Okay.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye bye.
Take care.
You
Goodbye.
know,